preface this. I know a lot of times poets, they love to talk about their own personal struggles and the things that they've endured through their life, and sort of coming out from the other side of those tunnels and sort of sharing both the darkness and the light that they found. I don't really consider myself a poet for a number of reasons. One, I'm very private, so a lot of the stuff that I write about isn't necessarily things that I struggle with, but more so the things that I watch happen. It's like I didn't set the building on fire. I wasn't inside, but I was stuck having to watch it burn. And that's the kind of stuff that I write about. Another reason why I don't consider myself a poet is because poets, they use these beautiful quadrisyllabic words. It's almost like when you see really beautiful abstract art, and you pretend to get it, but you're like, I just know this is beautiful, but I don't know half the words you said, and I just know it's way more meaningful. I just didn't have the right SAT score to understand what you just did. And I also have a tendency of coming across as cynical, and I'm constantly told by the people who love me and care for me that the world doesn't need to constantly be reminded of how messed up it is. People, they want to be encouraged. But I think sometimes we don't realize that it's kind of like in math. The one constant in all of our problems is us. And I think it's one level to love someone enough to hug them in their time of need, but I think it's another level of love to sort of call people out and say, well, this is the fourth job that you were constantly late to, and this is the third guy that's doing this, so let's be real and let's focus on what we can do something about, which is us, our actions, our words, the things that we do. So this is a piece called Welcome to America. Welcome to America, where when we gain weight, we just buy bigger clothes. When we run out of money, we use a credit card. When we run out of space, we get a storage unit. Welcome to America, where they intentionally made cigarettes expensive so that we would quit smoking, but instead, we just bum off someone else. And as they hand us that rolled up accumulation of over 100 poisons we can't even pronounce, we thank them. Here, the war on drugs continues to be waged against the people who sell cocaine and marijuana, while prescription medications continue to claim hundreds of thousands of lives every year. And they tell us, don't drink and drive, but a third of all the billboards by the highway tell us which beer tastes best. Welcome to America, where we tell our children, just say no to drugs, except for the 5 that they're prescribed to take every morning. Where we refer to our children more as an acronym than their own name. Oh, him, he has ADHD. His name's Jamie, I think. Welcome to America, where we eat because we're depressed, we eat to congratulate, we eat to forget, we eat to socialize, we eat oftentimes because we can't think of something more productive to be doing, while in so many other countries, people do anything they can to get their mind off the fact they haven't eaten in days. Here, a family sits down to watch a TV program of a family sitting down to watch TV. And we look for reality, not by staring out of our many windows, but by staring into our television screen. Welcome to America, where rappers make a living by filling their lyrics with the very same word that thousands of blacks died in hopes of ridding from our lips. And a 7-year-old boy who still struggles to remember his home address knows every word to all 14 tracks of Lay's Lil Wayne CD. Welcome to America, where dating sites make billions of dollars while the divorce rate continues to skyrocket, perhaps because the best part of meeting people is meeting people. But unfortunately, most of the people that you see that are married, they didn't get married because they were excited at the idea of being together, but more so because they were terrified at the idea of being alone. And so we have married couples who are more inclined to open their heart to their cardiologist than their spouse. Welcome to America, where we take time out of our lunch break to feed pigeons. fidgets, while the homeless man is desperately trying to make eye contact with us. And what's ironic is that we go up to people's babies and we hug them and we tell them how beautiful they are, but every homeless person you see is someone's baby. Welcome to America, where as parents, as siblings, we tell the youth, don't join gangs. Gangs where you have to dress in one color, shoot anyone wearing the opposite color. But if you continue to do that, you move up in ranks and you get more funds. And yet, we encourage them to join the military. Dress in one color, shoot anybody wearing the opposite color. The better you do that, the more you move up in the ranks. Welcome to America, where we fill our homes and our pockets with gadgets, all towards the idea of being more connected. And yet, it is the most preferred way that people use to ignore each other, contemplation, and their own thoughts. Welcome to America, where it takes a website to tell you that you have 437 friends. But all it takes is a flat tire at 437 to show how many friends you really have. And they continue to call it a Facebook feed, which seems appropriate because it seems to be people starving for attention. Here we are more concerned with accumulating followers than developing leaders. I mean, follow me, with no concern with where I'm going or whether I'm going anywhere at all, right? Welcome to America. We send over 3,250 messages a month, but can't take time to call the people we care for or answer their calls as they come. Welcome to America. There was a time when they were burning books to keep people from reading, and now our libraries are empty, our bookstores are closing. There was a time where you would wait weeks patiently for a beautiful handwritten letter, and now the postal service is closed because instead we bombard each other with meaningless, emotionless text messages. There was a time where you had to fight for the right to vote, and now candidates spend millions of dollars hoping you'll show up to the ballot. There was a time where you would be killed for believing in any God. And now the only time people seem to pray are casinos, prisons, hospitals, making quick deals when all they really want is another dollar and another day to spend it. And we live in a time that millions died to give us. We live in a country where every day thousands die to reach. Because here we can aspire to be anything. And in many ways, we can quite literally do anything. But in this glorious, hard-fought time of liberation, we choose not to participate, but simply to spectate. We are the land of the free and the home of the brave, but in many ways not brave enough to be free. I joke oftentimes you can always find the nonconformists because they look like all their friends. Welcome to America, where regardless of what it is that you've allowed yourself to believe, it is not your spouse, your parents, your employer, your professor that is standing in your way. It's only you. So sometimes my tone comes across like I'm mean. I'm not. Sometimes my tone comes across like I don't care. In fact, I wouldn't be so frustrated if I didn't care so much. But it's hard. It's hard because oftentimes when I want to become someone's ally, not just their friend, when I want to become your ally, and when I find myself in the trenches of this battle, I find that as I set my sights on the person that is doing the most damage, oftentimes it's the people I'm trying to help. I don't think I'm better than you. I think you're better than